hear us talk about the StarCraft, you gotta support the channel. At the very least, if you're new, click the follow button, click the sub button if you can, and if you've got Amazon Prime, you get Prime Gaming for free, which means you get to click sub for free. You just need to link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, or use your grandma's Amazon account, because though you might find out she's subscribed to Hot Tub Streamers, and you might be like, Grandma, what? But outside of that sort of stuff, use your Twitch Prime, your Amazon Prime every single month. It costs you nothing. It gives us actual dollars out of their $3,000 billion pockets, and it makes a big difference. For those who go above and beyond, use their own actual money, or cheer, or tip, or use a crypto or anything like that. Big thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It makes a huge difference. But a massive thanks, people, for going above and beyond. And yeah, give it to ZombieGrub. Give it to ZombieGrub as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Good shout. Good shout out. Now we get ourselves the best of 5 finals. That is a true David versus Goliath story. In the bottom left, posing as Goliath, he is Kier.
And his opponent, well, let's hope he ain't no snowflake, because he's in for an absolute hailstorm of Terran. In the top right, this is Alpha X Trigger.
Thank you, Spawvim, for the 5 gifted subs.
I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like, started playing the game in like a few years ago, basically, is kind of the summary. Got good insanely fast, great macro player, and it's going to be opening up with a proxy void ray to kick things off, right? Or is this... Oh!
I don't know what this is.
It's meant to look like a proxy void ray. But
yeah.
Maybe just Phoenix, and then just take a Nexus when the SCD leaves? Maybe?
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. He might... You know what? No. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait and see what it is. I mean, I think the default assumption is that it is still a Stargate for yeah, maybe Phoenix, maybe an Oracle. And just the idea is that it's not really proxied, but it certainly is hidden. Maybe that is what he's gonna do, because it is a Stargate. But I don't know what else it's gonna be.
Will not see it. Because why would you check there? So immediately Cure, of course, cancels. Did he start the command center? No, he scouted early enough. Doesn't have to cancel it. And yeah, so, I mean, it's going to second gas, the reactor first, lots of Marines. But I saw Cure get eliminated by Hero like a week after Hero was back from the army. And this was one of the sort of openings that Hero did. I love this, though, the fact that the Nexus is on the 3rd as well. Trigger's like, yeah, well, I mean, I want to make it really hard for you to check that I've actually gone to a normal game. And so the problem Q has had in the past against this, when he does get tricked, is he scouts everywhere except their natural sometimes. And then he's like, wait a second. And it's just, look at this. 6 workers on gas, doesn't even have a full mineral line. His commander is going to be super late.
Successful trick. Trigger is bringing out everything that he can against what he's probably perceiving is to be a better player. Because a lot of time Cure is. I would say Marine Lord usually is too, but just not today. And I guess Cure does have a better history of performing well in cross-server tournaments. So I guess it's always something to consider. Maybe Marine Lord doesn't as much. So yeah, Cure is still absolutely the guy that you need to punch up against. He's taller than you. He's bigger than you. And in this case, you're not really punching up. You're just kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what this would be equivalent of. Going rogue style. Hiding in the shadows, waiting to pounce on him.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely sensing some weird here as Cure, who he's about getting that high ground command center started, but making tanks, marines, medevacs. Cure is essentially just going to do a bit of an all-in. It's not going to be completely all-in. He will have a command center behind it, but he's going to do a push on that 3rd base with like tank bio, bunker attempt. Oh, if this marine drop gets caught by the Phoenix, it's really bad, but he dodges it. Now, coming in there, that bunker's empty. That's not a lot of units. You got to realize something's missing, Trigger. Get on out of there, mate.
He might not be able to realize it. I mean, maybe the 6 Marines or the 8 Marines are in the mineral line because Cure's like, what if it's an Oracle? And I just honestly don't think that Trigger's thinking about what's missing with that scout. He's probably thinking, hells yeah, I definitely fooled Cure. And now I just got to track the main push, but that's not really the case. 8 Marines unloading his main. Of course, not stim, so the probes have a chance of running away, but not anymore. They're already going to... Yeah, plenty of them are going to go down.
Oof. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I cast another Protoss player try this exact same thing and it go down the exact same way a week or two ago. If anyone remembers the game, let me know. But this is like, I'm super having that Matrix moment where I see the same cat again. I'm just like, this is the exact same game. And then the push is already there at the other base. And he's not ready for it. Only 2 Stalkers there. Already loses another 9 workers. I mean, this is so deadly. Well, battery overcharge and those 2 Stalkers are putting up an impressive hold so far. Is it going to be enough, though? Trigger down to 26 workers is, of course, trying to just scramble together a defense with very few units.
Kier is making something happen for sure. Didn't bring any SCVs, because maybe repairing that Viking would have been worth it, and trying to land it once it was repaired. 2 shield batteries now available, more units being added in. 1 Cyclone gets popped off, second one is going to get popped off, and the tank gets lifted as well. Oh, the second Cyclone actually doesn't die, and the tank's not going to die either. Every last Phoenix gets taken out with the help of the reinforcing Viking, and now the shield batteries are out of juice. Trigger's down to just 3 Stalkers and not much else. His gateways are repowered, but he can't really afford to build much else.
Battery overcharge comes off cooldown in 8 seconds. That is the one thing. And then these Stalkers can fight a little bit. And battery overcharge, go! There we go. He's just going to stand and fight. He's tank. Yeah, no, it just gets healed straight through. It's only 1 tank. That battery overcharge says, hello, nice to meet you. My name is Endless Shields. And these Stalkers are doing so much more than they'd normally be able to. Is it going to be enough, though? Takes out some Cyclones. Battery overcharge runs out. 1 Stalker left standing. There's almost no gas in the bank right now for Trigger. His mining is incredibly low, and he's going to walk in a few more Stalkers, but the rally is too strong. Cure does have an expansion up behind this as well, so good handling by Cure, who goes for a 1-base play out of necessity and ends up turning it into a very good attack.
Yep, Trigger's not going to be holding this one. GG, Cure takes game 1. Even though it looked like the master plan was being executed correctly, he missed the drop. I mean, honestly, even without the drop, I really wonder if it was possible to hold. Those workers mining the entire time would have been a lot more reinforcements. He would have produced Stalkers and Phoenix, perhaps. So he would have had 5 Phoenix and 6 Stalkers instead of 3 and 4, or something like that. But then the Marine drop maybe is with the attack. That's 8 more Marines and a medevac there, too. Like, it's actually just honestly looked very difficult to hold no matter what.
Yeah, I do think Trigger had the right, like the 3 gates were up early enough though, right? So I think it's always going to be hard, but you could do it, right? I mean, you get Stalkers in front of that, which we saw what 2 Stalkers did with a battery overcharge, and then like 4 or 5 with another battery overcharge. If you're only focusing on that, especially if your Phoenix are like behind the push, picking up rallying units while you buy time, like there's so much you can do, but it's just the moment you don't get to harass it on the way across the map at all. And you take all those probe losses, you can't even warp in non-stop on those 3 gates or keep building Phoenix. It's like, oh, so hard. But, you know, a good play from Trigger. Doesn't quite catch him there. Got to realize that Cure loves to get the quick 8 Marine drop out. Even if he was playing versus Proxy Void Ray, he would have the drop coming out at the exact same time, because that's how he counters Proxy Void Ray. He zones with Widowmine Cyclone while sending an 8 Marine drop across. So that's his favorite defense. You got to realize he loves sliding that quick timing out. Big thank you for the support, guys. We had Alexandria Muse with the 3-month resub, Dcash with the 8-month resub, the Turkey Vulture Lover 100-bit cheer, and Foofcat with the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. ZombieGrub, did anybody support? Because I'm not hearing any shout outs yet. These people being greedy, ZombieGrub?
I mute to you when I shout them out, so.
You already shout them out? You already did it?
5 gifted subs from Spodrum, and then I had 177 bits from Kung Pao Jeff.
That's it? Guys, you could do better than that. ZombieGrub here is giving you professional level commentary. She already cast all of EU. She spent the last few weeks hosting and casting amazing StarCraft for all of you lovelies. You could do better than that. Now, I'm not saying everybody. Some people are going through a hard time, should take care of their families and friends first. But some of you just made $1 billion on Dogecoin. Your Bitcoins and your magic internet money, share some with ZombieGrub. Give her some cash. Come on.
Well, thank you. I never do any shout outs or call to action, to be honest. I'm always just sitting here. And when someone subs to me, I'm like, wow, people like me. That's
why
amazing.
I'm your... Yeah, well, you actually rely on that. I'm a piece of shit. Also, you need like a Harstem, you know? I'm your Twitch Prime ambassador, like Harstem is for Home Story Cup, where he comes in, tells everyone to put their Bezos box down. I'll have to be that for you, ZombieGrub. So we got to do more collabs so I can shout at your audience to give you money, okay?
Yeah. Well, I do plan on trying to do this for the next couple of weeks. The thing is, like, I'm gonna be not streaming like the entirety of September, so trying to like do a ton of streaming while I can. Yeah,
that's because of all your travel for the big events, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not been announced yet, to be fair, but at this point, like,
it's fine.
I just like mysterious block of time where my streams aren't on my calendar, but don't think too hard on why that is, guys.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. There's an event on. You didn't say which one. It's all good. Well, this is a reactor first for Q, a pretty late scout, but sees a Nexus and is like, oh yeah, that's pretty chill. Nexus before Cybercore. We'll probably skip the bunker there. Oh, a big thank you, Spodrum. Thank you. So the interesting thing, this was a 20-second gas for Trigger, which is a very gas-heavy style. So I'm thinking Stargate Phoenix again, potentially. Doesn't have to be, but just a little bit of focus on that there. And it does start Warp Gates, so yeah, maybe just Twilight. 4 Gates Blink, maybe?
When are people getting their second gas nowadays? Have I missed something?
It's normally 21, 22, but more for the pylon and the second gas. But more people lately have just started doing it at random times.
Oh, okay.
Like 20, 19, all these sorts of weird times. So a lot of people have just been, I don't know if it's conscious, it's de-optimized, I don't know what's going on. But for some reason, people aren't probing after their 20 Nexus, 20 Cybercore. It's normally 20 Nexus, 20 Cybercore.
Right.
Add a probe, build the gas or pylon, add a probe, build the gas or pylon.
Right.
Which order you do the gas and pylon.
I was gonna say, like, that's so, you know, I've been doing, but sometimes I miss out on these meta changes. Like the gas timings in TvT apparently are new and improved. And I'm like sitting there like, oh, okay then.
Now, Q actually didn't raise the wall the first time, and then the second time either. But that's because I told you there's different variations of these 3 racks is ZombieGrub. Q likes to run random packs of Marines across the map, and he is a sneaky boy with it. Oh my lord. Stalker will come out soon. DT Shrine is, of course, being proxied in the top left of the map right now. Trigger did get that slightly quicker gas with a bit of intention behind it.
Yeah, apparently, but this is becoming a bigger problem than it really should.
Probes!
Probes, please. Help, please. Yeah, one more is going to go down, and then the last Marine is cleaned up. Here's Marines also went chasing, I guess, looking around. Aren't going to find the Dark Shrine or the Gateway by the looks of things. Going to take this El Naga, which won't see that. So this could still do a lot of damage. Cure on just barracks right now. No factory, no starport. Engineering Bay has to come down with this build because it is super weak against Dark Shrine. And he's got to have a scan in his back pocket. But yeah, did he get enough information from those Marines?
I think he noticed the Twilight wasn't upgrading, maybe? Q is that good. Yeah, because he's like, it's like, oh, I'm going to get immediate eBay and look everywhere and even sees the DT.
There we go.
DT says, hey, how do you like being in pieces, mate? And even the scan interception. Wow. Because he knows that if he scans this far out, this buys him so much time. He's even going to try and get rid of the proxy. Oh, my lord.
Oh, boy. Oh, those Marines ended up damaging Trigger even more than the actual probe deaths. Being able to scout the Twilight Count's not doing anything. Because it's one thing for the 3-rack guy to get an engineering bay and hold on to a scan just in case. It's another to actually go chasing around looking for it, finding the DT before he even has a chance, and then actually taking it out. Those are all just... It's like an actual slapdown of the build. Sometimes these builds connect, and it's like, the DT player can kind of like do something, the bio player can do something. This is chaos, this is carnage. Trigger's gonna have to build 1 DT at a time, but he's lost his Dark Shrine, so it's not gonna work anymore.
So, 3 Stalkers, 4 Stalkers, and a Warp Prison versus an army that can one-shot any of those units. How good is the shield battery? Because even if Trigger defends, he's not ahead. But there's a good chance that he dies right now. It's a lot of Marauders, tries to go for the full wall, anything to buy time. But this is just disappearing. The batteries are getting focused down. Nice prioritizing by Q. The probes have to fight here, but that's a disaster for Trigger.
Yeah. Oh, very unfortunate series so far for Trigger. I mean, the first game was all mind games. It looked like it was going to be successful, but couldn't actually execute it. This one is just I mean, more often than not, I've actually found the 3 racks beating the Dark Shrine, which I feel like in the past wasn't the case. Oh, the Immortal pops out and actually adds a ton of damage, but too little too late.
Yeah, the Immortal is the its best friend is a deep orange Marauder. That was a bunch of one-hit Marauders, but now the probes are indeed going a sailing to the surface of this ocean. Whee! Some people want to watch the fighting. Sorry guys, I'm just following the shrapnel floating to the top of the map.
The DTs are actually going to find a decent amount of damage to the SCVs. No, not even. I mean, you can't even warp in enough DTs to do enough damage to take advantage of the lack of reinforcements.
Yeah, well, this is the. I mean, just those 4 Marines. And this is something. You know, there's always something that you are missing. Whenever Protoss is doing something unfair, there is always something that you're missing. And it's always something where I think it's easy to go, this is so difficult to deal with X openings. But it's always these guys who are at the forefront of the matchup. It's just minor adjustments. And this is a pattern over the years. Whenever I get kind of stuck in my TvP and I go, how do I win this matchup? Like, they can just do this or that. There's always something where like a TY or a Cure is like, well, I go reactive first, and then I sneak 4 Marines around, and they like literally win the game for me. And I'm like, it can't be that easy, can it? And he's like, yeah, no, like, look, people are only building 1 or 2 gateway units. There's gaps in their gateway production. They're not scouting consistently for this, not leaving their probe around. They don't even know if I've gone reactor or Marine, because I deny it. If there's a probe in my base early, I go Marine first, and I deny that info. You know, there's all these little twists and turns, and he's so fluid. Every week we go to different cure. 3 racks obsessed cure, random early Marine cure, 1 base Hellion mine cure, halfway in between cure, where he always goes factory before command center, but it's more of like a TVT opening, whereas command center is still pretty quick. Like, he has these variations and he goes between them to punish the holes that open up. Whereas the Protoss players, they're usually very safe against a very tight meta at that moment. And there's details and areas of the game where there's weaknesses. And Cure is just gotten so good at finding these, because he's doing this to Zest as well, where, you know, he's catching him off with these early Marine walk-ins. And you know, you're there, you're like, oh, see, it's 3 racks. I killed 2 SCVs with my Adept. I'm doing so good. You look at home, oh, my DT rush got scouted. I lost like 5 probes mining time and almost a Stalker. Like, oh my God.
Well, your little guilt trip shout out actually worked. I got
yes!
Neat Pete 8 for the gifted sub, Prometheum for the 5 gifted subs, Wooly for the 2-month resub, Singularity 69 for the 10 gifted subs, Marus 94 for the 2-month resub, Metal Monkey for the 4-month resub, Duke 87765 for the 1,000 bits, Foofcat for the tier 1 sub, that very YOLO guy for the 5 gifted subs, and then Tavier with the prime sub, and Anonymous with 100 bits. So it was quite successful. We got ourselves a little hype train going.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, high five to everybody on that hype train. Thank you, everybody, for your generosity. Big thanks, Spodrum, for the gifted subs, Caspada, and Wriggle for your resubs as well. Especially Wriggle, I don't know if I just haven't been reading chat today, normally drops some incredible stats on the players that I don't know. Like, oh, well, Cure actually hasn't lost to anyone but Zest in a best of 5 TvP in 12 months. You know, he'll always have this, like, little statistic where it's like, oh my God, I have my own Wax Angel. It's fantastic. So thank you guys for the love. It's minus the edgelord, minus the being an internet warrior edgelord. As much as I love you, Wax. Down here in the bottom right hand side of the map, representing Alpha X. I'm really hoping for that comeback train. It's Trigger.
In the top left, up 2-0, he is the Red Terran here.
Mouse is getting caught. So Romanticide, or Romanticide, as Big Gabe has taught us. As he says, it is not logical. The name's map is spelled romantic, with I on the end. There's no reason why the pronunciation would change. This German makes a lot more sense than English, as this language is stupid. But,
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. I just, it's like, it's pointless to try and correct English. There's really no point to it. It is what it is. I before E, except after C, but not actually. There's more. There's more. What's the word? There's more rule breaking than there is rules with that. So apparently they stopped teaching it in school. which I found very interesting.
I there's some interesting points. Someone in chat was saying that because 3x is so common for them on the ladder, and I can imagine we've seen it so much in pro play, that must be all through the like Diamond League, Plat League. I imagine there's a lot of creative responses. Someone just said, "Oh, I always hide my third base when I'm playing against 3x." I'm like, that's actually adorable. I wish more people would hide expansions at pro level. It's like super underused.
Geralt actually did that versus a good Terran like Soul or someone on Blackburn. Really? Yeah, he had instead of taking the regular third, he took the very top right. And yeah, the Terran never found it. It was like a perfect response.
Sick. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing one of these like real tech-heavy two-base builds, sometimes people do just take a long time to take their third, and you do that sort of thing, but then you sneak the third up a little earlier than they realize. It's pretty scary to attack into a two-base player, so you can get away with it. The funny thing is, the only trap at high level is that you then have to take a actual third earlier than you really want to, just to pretend. You're like, I really don't want this extra Nexus, but I'll take it, and if they like push it hard, I'll just give it up. But like, I don't really want that right now because that just adds to my greed. But I kind of need to do it if I want to keep selling the story.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting opener and a very dangerous thing that Trigger just did there. First of all, thank you, Foofcat, for the 5 gifted subs. But yeah, Stalker when he's going into Phoenix. And then aggressively using his Stalker when the Marines could have been anywhere and they were just right behind him is it's not the best use of a very expensive unit.
It does keep the Marines at home. After the last game, I can understand. It's like, all right, these Marine walkouts are kind of scary. You know, kills a few Marines. It's not a good trade, but it's not the worst trade of all time. Of course, if we finished off one of the SCVs, I'd be a bit happier with it. You know, slowing down Terran economy. This has been Trigger's weakness all tournament. Has been losing spotting units all over the shop. And remember that Trigger was looking dead earlier today in some of the PVTs and really resurrected himself very, very well. So Trigger is, of course, just been surviving this whole tournament from very bad situations. That Marine rally out into the center of the map. Engineering Bay is now on the way behind this. And looks like more depots. No factory just yet. We're getting close to 4 minutes 30, but still being on one gas. Cure is incredibly committed to this assault.
Feels like it's going to work. I mean, I know Phoenixes aren't really as bad as they can look in the defense of the 3 racks, but I still don't really have a lot of confidence. I think they require like it's like a nice edge type of defense. Like, I know it's very possible, and then you can immediately counterattack and kind of control the game from there, but I'm with Roddy. He always says like he's surprised when the professionals defend with the Phoenix because he seems like he never can, and I'm right there with him. But that's exactly what Trigger's going to try and do.
You can do it. Oh, he's stimmed, so I like the pullback. Pull the probes and go. Oh, no! He doesn't get, Oh, I think as soon as he saw that early stim, he needed to pull everything, probes included, into this. Anything to tank damage so his Phoenix can kill the Marines. There's not many Marines, so he actually can kill those Marines. But the thing is, he goes for the Marauders. Oh, no, not like that.
No, this is going to be a 3-0, unfortunately. I mean, the 3 racks has really come back into play. I feel like for like a year, maybe even 2, it was kind of laughable. It was kind of in the realm of like, well, you know, Masters and Diamond players can do it and have a lot of fun, but then the professionals picked it up again, and now it just seems like it's always so strong, it's always so scary, and in this case, it is going to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I think 3 racks is one of these build orders. GG, Cure takes the championship, takes the ESL Weekly NA Cup. Very well done. But it's